History isn't just a list of dates and kings. Sometimes it's a collection of events so bizarre, so chaotic, and so unbelievable that if you saw them in a movie, you'd call the plot unrealistic. From an army losing a war to birds, to a pope putting a corpse on trial today, we are diving into 6 of the strangest events to ever actually happen. Buckle up, because history is about to get weird. In 1932, Australia declared war, not on a country, but on birds. After WWI, Australian veterans were given land to farm, but 20,000 emus moved in and began destroying the wheat crops. The solution? Send in the military with Louis machine guns. Major Meredith and his men thought it would be an easy target practice. But the emus were smarter than they looked. They moved in small groups, ran at 50 kilometers per hour, and could take multiple bullets without stopping. After thousands of rounds of ammunition were spent, and only a few hundred birds were killed, the army literally surrendered. The official report stated that the birds won. It's the only war in history where the losers had machine guns and the winners had feathers. If you think modern politics is messy, wait until you hear about Pope Stephen VI in the year 897. He decided to seek revenge on his predecessor, Pope Formosus. There was just one problem. Formosus had been dead for 7 months. Stephen had the rotting corpse dug up, dressed in papal robes, and propped up on a throne to face trial. A deacon was hired to stand behind the corpse and speak for it. Unsurprisingly, the dead pope lost the case. His fingers were chopped off, and his body was thrown into the Tiber River. This event is known as the Cadaver Synod. It remains the most gruesome and insane trial in the history of the Catholic Church. When you think of a natural disaster, you think of fire or water. But in 1919, the residents of Boston faced a sweet nightmare. A massive storage tank containing 2.3 million gallons of molasses suddenly exploded. A 25-foot-high wave of sticky, brown syrup surged through the streets at 35 miles per hour. It was slow like molasses in January. It was a deadly wall of pressure that crushed buildings and flipped trucks. 21 people lost their lives, and 150 were injured, mostly by suffocating in the thick liquid. For decades after, residents claimed that on hot summer days, you could still smell the faint scent of molasses coming from the pavement. Meet Tarrare, an 18th-century French showman with a terrifying medical condition. He was always hungry, and we don't mean I forgot lunch hungry. He could eat a meal meant for 15 people in one sitting. Tarrare ate live cats, snakes, and even stones. Despite his massive intake, he stayed skinny but had a huge sagging mouth and a body that constantly emitted a foul-smelling steam. During his time in the military, doctors even tried to use him as a spy to swallow secret documents. He was eventually kicked out of the hospital after being suspected of eating a toddler. When he died, his autopsy revealed a stomach so large it filled his entire abdominal cavity. This is arguably the most embarrassing moment in military history. The Austrian army, 100,000 men strong, managed to defeat themselves before the enemy even showed up. While camping near the town of Karánsebes, a group of hussars bought some schnapps from local travelers and got drunk. When infantrymen wanted to join, a fight broke out. A shot was fired in the dark, and someone screamed, "Turks! Turks!" Panicked soldiers started firing at shadows. The army, made up of people speaking different languages, couldn't understand the halt orders and thought they were being attacked by the Ottoman Empire. The Austrians retreated in total chaos, leaving 10,000 casualties behind. When the Ottoman army arrived 2 days later, they found a battlefield covered in bodies, but they hadn't fired a single shot. During World War II, many heroes emerged, but none were as unlucky as Oscar, also known as Unsinkable Sam. He was a cat with a very strange habit, surviving shipwrecks. Sam started his journey on the German battleship Bismarck. It was sunk, but Sam was found floating on a plank. He was rescued by the British and joined the HMS Cossack. That ship was torpedoed and sank. Sam survived again. He was then moved to the aircraft carrier HMS Ark Royal. Guess what? It sank too. The British Navy finally decided that maybe Sam was a bad omen for ships. He was retired to a home in Belfast where he lived peacefully until 1955. Steel ships could unsurvive the war, but Sam did. History is proof that the truth is often weirder than any fiction we can imagine. Which of these stories did you find the most unbelievable? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the strangest corners of our past. See you in the next one.